Greetings, dear jewelry connoisseurs. Today I will tell you about one of the most magnificent treasures related to the Aryan culture. But first of all, it is worth noting that the term Arya, or Aryans, refers to peoples using languages of the Aryan or Indo-Iranian group, descended from the ancient peoples of Iran and India. Interestingly, in the ancient Indian language, the word Arya is translated as Lord, Noble, Highborn. There is even a deity called Aryaman in Indian mythology. However, back to the subject of jewelry. The most prominent representative of the Aryan civilization is Iran, which is famous for its jewels, including the Iranian crown jewels. Most of them can be found in the national treasury of Iran. For many years, the national treasury of Iran has been tried to be valued, but no expert has succeeded. Neither auction houses such as Christie's and Sotheby's, nor jewelry companies, nor Lloyd's insurance companies, nor even banks have been able to estimate its value. Over the past 25 centuries, Iranian rulers have amassed a vast amount of gems and jewelry, and the story of their acquisition has always been an eventful and even tragic one. The royal courts and treasuries of the ancient Sassanid dynasty were the subject of legends and special attention in historical chronicles. In the early 20th century, during the reign of Reza Shah Pahlavi, a significant portion of the royal treasures was transferred to the National Bank of Iran to strengthen the bank's financial resources and serve as collateral for Iranian currency. However, after the victory of the Islamic Revolution in 1979, the royal collections of the Pahlavi dynasty, as well as some other jewelry, were added to the treasury of the central bank. Its name was then changed to the National Treasury of Iran's Jewels, more commonly referred to as the Jewelry Museum. Today it houses the world's most valuable collection of jewels, the largest and most impressive collection of jewelry on the planet. Let's dive into the unique and beautiful universe of these pieces. Our first focus will be the crown of Fath Ali Shah, also known as the Crown of Kiani. This crown was traditional at the coronation of Iranian monarchs during the Qajar dynasty, 1796 to 1925. Made in 1797 during the reign of Fath Ali Shah, it was used by several subsequent Shahs. The Kiani crown was the first crown created after the Sassanid era. This magnificent piece is decorated with approximately 1,800 pearls, each of which is between 7 and 9 millimeters in diameter. The crown is also inlaid with about 300 emeralds, the largest of which weighs approximately 80 carats. Furthermore, approximately 1,800 rubies and spinels are used, the largest of which weighs 120 carats. The most significant diamond in the crown is estimated at 23 carats. The Kiani crown is undoubtedly one of the most admired crowns in the history of the world monarchy. It symbolizes the luxury and grandeur of ancient Iranian culture. In 1925, a different crown was created and specially designed for the coronation of Shah Reza Pahlavi, who proclaimed himself absolute monarch of Iran. Under the guidance of jeweler Haji Serajeddin, Shah Reza Pahlavi commissioned a new crown inspired by the Qajar dynasty and historical examples from the era of the Sassanid Empire, which ruled Persia from 224 to 651. The crown was originally presented at the coronation of Shah Reza Pahlavi on the 25th of April, 1926 and was subsequently used at the coronation of his son and successor, Mohammad Reza Pahlavi, on the 26th of October, 1967. Shah Pahlavi's crown is made of gold and silver, with a total weight of 2.08 kilograms. A large 60-carat yellow diamond is set in the center of the front crest and a large sapphire is set in the center of the back crest. The crown is set with 3,380 diamonds totaling 1144 carats. Around the circumference of the crown are 369 pearls in 3 rows, as well as 5 emeralds, the largest of which weighs 100 carats. The crown is decorated with 4 ornamental half arcs. A diamond ornamental egret with a large emerald at its base is attached to the front crest of the crown. A white heron feather is attached to the crown by means of the egret. The next magnificent work of art is the diadem of Fath Ali Shah. This exquisite piece of jewelry, which is essentially a tiara, was used by Fath Ali Shah to adorn his high headdress, which was often made of black wool. Images of this ornament on the headdress of Fath Ali Shah are clearly visible in several artistic miniatures created during his reign. Nadir Shah Afshar also wore this magnificent tiara around the base of his tall Persian headdress. It is important to note that although the tiara is female jewelry in nature, no member of the royal family ever wore it. The ornament of Fath Ali Shah's headdress is rightly considered a masterpiece of jewelry art due to its exquisite symmetry, which surpasses other tiaras. The exquisite ornamentation of the second half of the 19th century, with its mathematically precise symmetry, testifies to the magnificent skill of Iranian masters of jewelry art of that time, the achievement of which is now extremely difficult for modern masters, despite all the modern technologies available to them. Magnificent masterpieces of ancient Iranian origin, unfortunately, have been lost forever due to the numerous wars and destructions that this country has experienced during its long history. However, it is fortunate that the headdress decoration, being relatively modern, has escaped the fate of its predecessors. The world community should acknowledge the great value of having such works of jewelry art preserved for future generations in the national treasury of Iran. The tiara is 13.5 centimeters high, and its unique design and exceptional symmetry make an exact description impossible. It is recommended to study the ornament carefully from the photograph, avoiding dependence on a verbal description. Start with the axis of symmetry and examine each piece in detail, comparing both halves of the tiara to detect any discrepancies. Also note the color, size, cut, number and placement of the stones. You will be surprised to find that the two halves are virtually identical in every aspect. This experiment can be repeated with the other tiaras described earlier to assess their symmetry for yourself. Not only is the diadem of Fath Ali Shah admired for its majestic appearance, but also the diadem of Jewellery. This exquisite and luxurious headdress was specially created for the wedding ceremony of the last Shah of Iran, Mohammad Reza Shah Pahlavi, and his third wife, Farah Diba, of Azerbaijani origin. The monarch's previous marriages had failed to bring him heir sons, so he divorced both wives. One day, at a reception at the Iranian embassy in Paris, he was introduced to a young female student studying in France. The monarch did not hesitate to propose to her, and they became a courageous and educated couple, happily married. Their wedding took place on the 21st of December, 1959, and Farah was crowned as the Empress, the Shah Banu, as she bore him his long-awaited son. Although the marriage to Farah was not truly loving as with his second wife, it remained strong and enduring until the Shah's death. The platinum frame of the magnificent headdress was magnificently decorated with multicolored diamonds, soft pink, yellow, and colorless. At the very center of this jewel was a huge 60-carat pink crystal, the Jewellery, or the light of the eye. Under the rays of the sun, the royal tiara shone and shimmered like a multitude of mirrored eyes. There were a total of 324 diamonds in this masterpiece of art, including the largest of them, and the other gems weighed between 14 and 19 carats. Note the base of the tiara. There you can see a row of colorless baguette diamonds, which are shaped like cones. The Jewellery is the world's second largest pink diamond, which, along with the ocean of light crystal, was part of the large facette diamond seen by the French jeweler Taverny on his journey to India in 1642. This diamond was inlaid in the peacock throne of Shah Jahan, the Mughal emperor. However, after the conquest and sacking of Mughal territory by the Iranian ruler Nadir Shah in 1739, many treasures, including Jewellery, ended up in the hands of the Shah. Jewellery was later found in the possession of Nadir Shah's blind grandson, Shahrukh, and was kept in the Qajar treasury until the last monarch of Iran chose it as the center stone for his bride's wedding tiara. I hope you enjoyed this issue and would like to learn even more about the jewelry of the Aryan nation. Please post which jewel you liked the most. See you all again.